The Last Stand. In the year 4000, humanity had long since colonized the solar system, spreading across billions of star systems. The Leaning Tower colony on the edge of Uranus Sector was a bustling hub of innovation and community. The colony featured state-of-the-art facilities, including an advanced filtration system designed to purify the water supply. For its inhabitants, humans integrated with technology through Neuralink, allowing them to communicate directly with their bodies. The filtration system had been in place since the arrival of the colonists 200 years ago. It was a marvel of engineering, using nanobots embedded within the water molecules to filter out harmful substances and extend the lifespan of the drinkable water supply. However, over time, the system had begun to show signs of wear and tear. The colony's leader, General Kaylor Veer, had recently announced an upcoming medical examination for all children born on Leaning Tower. The examinations were designed to assess their physical health, mental development, and overall readiness for contribution to the colony's progress. Among the children, there was a growing concern. Some began showing signs of illness, while others did not. The story begins with a young human boy named Lior, who has been born just 3 months ago. Lior was thriving, he was healthy, active, and seemed to have all the makings of a future leader. However, his story would soon take an unexpected turn that would forever change the course of the colony's history. The medical examination for Lior was scheduled for 6 weeks from the start of the project. The examinations were conducted in a temporary classroom located beneath the filtration system, where samples of blood and tissue could be collected without disturbing the delicate balance of the colony's ecosystem. As days passed, strange symptoms began to appear in other children. Some showed redness in their eyes, others had difficulty breathing, some exhibited symptoms that were unlike anything seen before. The medical team was perplexed, and the filtration system was supposed to protect the water supply from contaminants, but it seemed to be affecting very humans who depended on it. Amid the confusion, a drop of blood from one of the sick children fell into the filtration membrane during testing. A faint green light briefly appeared, signaling that something abnormal had been detected. The team quickly realized that this meant the filtration system was not just malfunctioning, it was being polluted by an unknown substance. The lead medical officer, Dr. Alara Malak, a cyborg with enhanced Neuralink technology, noticed the blood sample in her hand and immediately alerted the team. She rushed to the infirmary, where she discovered that Lior had been taken to the nearest examination room, already emptying into a pool of dark liquid. The situation was dire. The filtration system was not just causing health issues, but also altering the very nature of the water supply. Without it, the colony's residents would face an existential crisis. Plenty of drinkable water would no longer be available, and those who could not adapt to the toxic conditions would die. The discovery came as a bolt out of the blue. Dr. Malak had a vial in her hand when she discovered the distress call from the filtration system's operator. The membrane had been damaged irreparably, and with it the ability to filter out contaminants. Dr. Malak hesitated for a moment before calling on General Veer for backup. She needed to know what was being poured into the system. As the phone rang, she noticed something strange in the liquid. Before she could fully focus, the screen of the filtration monitor flickered and went dark. Memory of Lior's last breath flashed through her mind. She quickly shut down the system and called reinforcements from the colony's mainframe facility on the surface. Within minutes, 2 shuttlecraft were launched, each carrying advanced probes to gather samples from the contaminated water source. The probes returned with a jarring revelation. The liquid was not a chemical pollutant, but a strange organic compound that had been released by a malfunctioning experiment conducted decades earlier. The research had attempted to create a bioweapon to study the immune system's response to toxins, but something had gone wrong. Instead of creating a harmless substance, the nanobots had self-destructed. Dr. Malak stared at the samples in her hand. The organic compound was unlike anything she had ever seen before. It was a mix of unknown molecules that could only be described as dangerous. The discovery sent shockwaves through the colony. The filtration system, which had been trusted for centuries, had turned against its creators. The adults were in crisis. How could they survive without it? How would they raise their children if they no longer had access to clean drinking water? Young Lior was still alive, but began to show signs of distress. His red eyes indicated a weak immune system, and his small frame seemed to be losing strength. The medical team was forced to make an impossible decision. Should they hold him in a makeshift cryopod and wait for the situation to improve, or should they let him suffer now? Lior's death would be an unacceptable loss. But with time running out, they had no choice. Dr. Malik knew that if she could not find a solution before it was too late, the entire colony might never recover. The final act of this story was one of desperation and defiance. Dr. Alara Malak, now a cyborg with enhanced Neuralink technology, stepped into the breach that had been created by the failing filtration system. She burned through her energy reserves to create a new generation of nanobots capable of cleaning the water on their own. The shuttlecraft returned with only one thing in mind: survival for Lior and his siblings who had been affected by the contamination. The journey was perilous, but the mission was clear: clean up the source of the poison before it destroys everything else. In the end, the colony's leaders made a hard choice. They shut down the filtration system entirely, sacrificing its operational capabilities to focus on treating the infected population. The experiment that had been thought to be a scientific curiosity had turned into a global catastrophe, a cautionary tale for future generations. The lessons were clear: when technology fails, human ingenuity could still save the day, but only if it was used for the right reasons. And in the end, it was Lior's last breath that reminded everyone of what truly mattered: life and survival.